Here's the brutal truth. No one tells you. Women don't want a man who chases them. They want a man they have to chase. They want a guy who commands respect without saying a word. The moment you start chasing her, you put yourself below her, and once she senses that the attraction dies. But if you flip the script and show her you're not playing by her rules, she'll come crawling back to you. And today, I'm going to teach you how to do exactly that. It's time to flip the power dynamic and make her fight to be in your life. We've all been taught the same lie, that the more effort you put in, the more she'll love you. But in reality, the harder you try, the faster she runs away. Let me ask you this. How many times have you seen guys overextend themselves, planning fancy dates, texting, constantly buying gifts, and yet the girl still pulls back? It's because the more you give, the less she values. You think about it. When was the last time you really wanted something that was handed to you for free? The chase is what makes something valuable, and in the same way, when you stop chasing her, you become a challenge again, a prize worth fighting for. This is your opportunity to change the entire dynamic. Let's dive right in. Number 1. Understanding why she pulled back. Before we even get into the tactics, you need to understand why she's pulling back in the first place. Because let me tell you, this isn't random. Women don't just pull away for no reason. It's all about power dynamics. When a woman feels like she has too much control in a relationship, the attraction dies. It's not a conscious decision on her part. It's just how humans work. If she feels like she's got you on a leash, she'll get bored, and eventually she'll start looking elsewhere. The harsh reality is that people don't value what comes too easily. It's human nature, and in relationships, it's no different if you've been over-available, too eager to please, or too quick to respond. You've already lost some of your value in her eyes. Think about it when she knows you're always going to pick up the phone, always going to be there for her. She stops appreciating your presence. She starts taking you for granted. And the moment she feels like she doesn't need to work for your attention, she'll pull back. Let me break it down for you. Women test men constantly, and they do it without even realizing it. These tests come in the form of pulling back, acting cold, or becoming distant. It's her way of seeing how much control she has over you. If you start chasing her, blowing up her phone, or trying to fix things, you're telling her that she's in charge, that she can dictate the terms of the relationship, and that's exactly when she loses attraction. Maybe you've been dating for a few months, and she starts taking longer to reply to your texts. At first, you shrug it off, but after a while, it's clear she's pulling away. Your instinct tells you to fix it, to send a thoughtful text, or maybe surprise her with something sweet. But here's what you need to understand. The moment you give her that validation, you lose even more ground. It's not about fixing things on the surface, it's about resetting the power dynamic entirely. Number 2, emotional detachment. Now that you understand why she's pulling back, it's time to introduce the most powerful tool in your arsenal: emotional detachment. When you pull back emotionally, you create space for her to miss you. The minute you stop caring so much, she will start caring more. And this isn't about playing games, it's about regaining your power and commanding respect without saying a word. Emotional detachment is a game changer. Most guys fail here because they think showing less interest will make them lose the girl for good. But here's the paradox. The moment you stop being available, stop caring about every little thing she does, and stop seeking her validation, you become attractive again. Think about the last time you desperately wanted something you couldn't have, whether it was a job, a deal, or even attention from someone. That feeling of wanting it more just because it was out of reach, that's what happens to her. When you pull back, you need to act like you're completely unbothered by her pulling away. No texts, no calls, no checking her Instagram stories. You become a ghost. Why? Because your silence speaks louder than any words. The minute she feels your absence, she starts thinking about you again. She starts wondering if she made a mistake, if you're seeing someone else, if you've moved on. And that's when the tables turn in today's world. People are more connected than ever. Social media, texting, FaceTime. It's hard to go a day without knowing what someone's doing, but that's why emotional detachment works so well. When you're not reacting to her posts, not engaging with her updates, she starts to feel your absence in a way that's impossible to ignore. Number 3, avoiding common mistakes. Here's where most guys blow it. They panic when they don't hear from her and they start making mistakes. They send a text, they comment on her Instagram post, they ask mutual friends about her. These might seem like small moves, but each one of them destroys your chances of getting her back. Most guys can't handle the silence. They think, I'll just send one message to check in. But here's the truth, that one message is enough to blow the entire plan. Why? Because the moment you reach out, you've shown her that you're still thinking about her, that she's still in control. And once she knows that you've lost the upper hand, let's say she posts a picture of herself looking amazing on Instagram, maybe even a little provocative. Your instinct might be to like the photo, maybe even drop a comment or DM her about how great she looks. But guess what? That's exactly what she wants. She's fishing for your attention. And by giving it to her, you're validating her behavior. You're showing her that you're still hooked, the worst part, when you engage with her. So, social media, you give her the validation she needs without having to work for it. She gets to feel desired and wanted all, without actually putting in the effort to earn your attention back. That's why you need to ignore it all. No likes, no comments, no DM. Let her wonder why you haven't noticed. Let her miss you. Number 4, the power of no contact. Now we're getting into one of the most effective strategy, the no contact rule. This is where you go completely silent. No texts, no calls, no checking in. You disappear from her life completely. And this is what flips the switch in her mind. No contact is psychological warfare. Women are used to men who can't handle the silence. They expect you to chase, to reach out to keep the conversation going. But when you don't do any of that, it disrupts their entire sense of control. Suddenly, she's not the one in power anymore. You are. She starts wondering, what happened? Did you lose interest? Are you seeing someone else? And this fear of losing you drives her crazy for the next 30 days. You are a ghost. You don't text her, call her, or interact with her in any way. Not even a hey, just checking in message, and trust me, this will be the hardest part. Most guys can't handle the idea of complete silence. They get impatient thinking, what if she moves on? But here's the reality. The longer you stay silent, the more she'll miss you in today's world. People are used to constant connection. Everyone's texting, snapping. But when you go dark, when she can't see what you're doing, who you're with, or where you are, it creates a void. And that void is what makes her realize what she's missing. She'll start to wonder. And eventually that curiosity will turn into action. She'll reach out. Number 5. How to stay focused. During the pullback, the biggest mistake men make during no contact is sitting around waiting for her to text. They obsess over when she's going to reach out, checking their phones every 5 minutes. But that's not what no contact is about. The point is to focus on you while you're going no contact. You need to be improving yourself in every possible way. Hit the gym, build your business, learn new skills. This is your time to become the best version of yourself. You're not just sitting around waiting for her to come back. You're making her want to come back by becoming the kind of man she can't resist when she finally reaches out. You don't want to be the same guy she pulled away from. You want to be a completely new version of yourself, stronger, more confident, more successful. This isn't just about making her miss you. It's about leveling up your life so that when she does come back, you're the prize. Look at some of the most successful men in the world. Many of them hit their peak after going through a major setback, a breakup, a failure, or a loss. They use that pain as fuel to become better. And that's exactly what you need to do when she sees that you've transformed, that you've built a life that's bigger and better than before. She'll want to be a part of it. Number 6. Use heartbreak as fuel. Heartbreak is painful, no doubt about it, but it's also the most powerful fuel you'll ever have. Every time you feel the urge to text her, every time you feel that sting of rejection, use it as fuel to push yourself harder. Most men waste heartbreak by wallowing in self-pity, but this is your chance to turn it into a weapon. Heartbreak doesn't just have to be a moment of weakness. It can be the start of the strongest version of yourself. Turn your pain into power. Heartbreak can either destroy you or build you. The choice is yours. You can either sit around feeling sorry for yourself, replaying every conversation in your mind, stalking her on social media, wondering where you went wrong, or you can use that pain to transform into a stronger, more successful version of yourself. And trust me, when she sees what you've become, she'll regret ever pulling away. Every time you feel that urge to reach out, every time you feel the pain of losing her, remind yourself that this is a pivotal moment. This is the point where most men give up, but you're not. Most men, remind yourself that you're better than that. You're not going to crumble under this. Instead, you're going to build yourself up. Use that pain as motivation to hit the gym harder, to work longer hours, to improve every aspect of your life. The best revenge isn't getting her back. It's becoming the man she regrets losing. And here's the truth. Women always come back. Maybe it'll take weeks, months, or even years, but they always circle back when they see that you've leveled up the goal. Here isn't to make her regret leaving you. Though she will, the goal is to make yourself so high value that her opinions and actions no longer have the power to affect you. When you channel your heartbreak into personal growth, you don't just win her back, you win at life. Some of the most successful men in history used their pain and heartbreak as fuel to push them to greatness. Look at athletes, business mogul, and even public figures. Many of them faced some form of loss or rejection that catapulted them to the next level. This is your opportunity. Don't let the pain defeat you. Instead, let it drive you to become the best version of yourself. While most men binge on Netflix or waste time chasing other women to fill the void, the winners are those who take the pain and turn it into productivity. Every hour you spend feeling sorry for yourself is an hour you could be using to improve your life. Instead of thinking about her, think about what you can do today to get one step closer to your goals. Number 7. Building emotional strength. This isn't just about getting her back. This is about building emotional strength so that no woman or anyone else can ever control you again. You need to become emotionally bulletproof, unshakable, and grounded in who you are as a man. Because the stronger you are emotionally, the less you'll rely on external validation, and the more attractive you become to women and everyone around you. Emotional strength is the foundation of every successful relationship and every success in life. Without it, you're constantly swayed by what other people think, say, or do when you don't have emotional strength. Every little test or pullback from her feels like a personal attack. But when you're emotionally strong, you rise above it. You become the kind of man who doesn't let anyone dictate his feelings or reactions. And that's the key to long-term attraction. Women are naturally drawn to men who are in control of their emotions, who don't get rattled easily, and who stay grounded even whenever everything else feels unstable. You have to start practicing emotional detachment in every area of your life. This doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop reacting to everything. You don't let her mood swings, her silence, or even her pullbacks dictate your emotional state. You stay steady, and when you do that, something magical happens. You become the rock. She can depend on you. Become the man who is unshakable in the face of challenges, and that makes you irresistible. Think about the most successful men in the world. They don't get thrown off course by every little obstacle. They stay calm under pressure. and that's why they succeed. It's the same in relationships. When she tries to test you, when she pulls back or gets emotional, you stay composed. You don't react emotionally because you know your value doesn't come from her approval. It comes from within. The next time she pulls back or starts testing, you don't react. Don't blow up her phone. Don't try to fix things. Instead, stay calm, focus on yourself, and let her see that her behavior doesn't control you. This is what separates the men who win in relationships from the men who lose. Emotional strength is your shield, and once you master it, no woman will ever have power over you again. Number 8. Making her miss you. Here's the secret to making her miss you. Stop giving her attention. Stop validating her. When you pull back, she'll start missing you because you're no longer available. And in a world where everyone is constantly connected, your absence will be the loudest message you can send. Absence makes the heart grow fond. When you're always around, always available, she doesn't have the chance to miss you. But when you go silent, when you remove yourself from her life, she starts to feel that void, and that's when she'll start missing you. Women, especially in today's world, are surrounded by attention, social media, likes, texts from guys, compliments and validation from everywhere. But all of that is noise. When you go silent, you break through that noise. She starts thinking, why isn't he texting me? Why isn't he liking my pictures? What's going on? That silence creates mystery, and mystery creates attraction. Imagine this scenario. You're the guy who's always reacting to her Instagram posts, liking her photos, commenting on her stories. You think you're showing interest, but in her eyes you're just another guy trying to get her attention. But when you stop reacting, when you don't like her latest selfie, don't comment on her new post, she notices it's human nature. The more you withhold your attention, the more valuable it becomes. She'll start to wonder why you're not giving her the validation she's used to, and that's where the magic happens. Maybe she posts a story out with her friends, laughing, having fun, and she's used to you checking in with a "looks like a good time" message. But this time, you don't react. You don't watch her story. You don't like her post. In her mind, she's thinking, did I lose him? Is he seeing someone else? That uncertainty is powerful. It eats away at her, and the more she doesn't hear from you, the more she starts to miss you. If she tries to get your attention by posting thirst traps or indirect messages on social media, stay cool, don't engage. Let her feel that you're out of reach. Your lack of reaction will drive her crazy, and she'll be thinking about you more than ever. In the era of constant communication, your silence is golden. When she realizes she can't get your attention like before, she'll be the one chasing after you, trying to figure out what changed. Remember, it's all about flipping the script. In a world where everyone is constantly connected, you stand out by being the one who isn't. When you stop showing up in her notifications, you're no longer part of the noise. Now you're the silent she can't ignore, and that silence, it's the most powerful tool in your arsenal to make her miss you. Number 9. What to do when she reaches out. When she finally reaches out, it's time to stay calm and play it cool. Don't jump right back into the same dynamic that caused her to pull away in the first place. This is your moment to show her that you've changed, that you're not the same guy who used to hang on her every word. Keep it short, keep it confident, and let her work for your attention. The key here is to not show her that you're overly eager. When she reaches out, she's testing the waters. Maybe she misses you, maybe she's curious, or maybe she's just looking for validation. But regardless of why she's reaching out, the worst thing you can do is respond immediately with a long emotional message. She'll see right through that and know she still has power over you. Instead, you need to remain composed. Let her know you're doing just fine without her and that she needs to work for your time and attention. Here's a practical example. If she sends a casual message like, "Hey, how have you been?" don't respond right away. Give it some time. Wait a few hours, even a day. When you do respond, keep it short and indifferent. "Hey, I've been busy with some projects. How about you notice how you're not giving her any emotional leverage here? You're simply stating that you've been busy and moving forward with your life." This keeps her wondering if she still holds a place in your world by delaying your response and keeping it brief. You're signaling to her that your life doesn't revolve around her anymore. She'll start to think, has he moved on? Is he seeing someone else? Why isn't he as interested as before? This uncertainty is exactly what you want to create. It keeps her intrigued, and more importantly, makes her realize that she doesn't have the same control over you as she once did. But here's the important part. Don't fall back into old habits after she reaches out. It's tempting to want to rekindle things quickly, especially if she seems interested again. But remember, this is about resetting the power dynamic. Let her come to you. Let her work to regain your attention, respond when necessary, but always keep the upper hand by staying focused on your own life and goals. Let's say she asks to meet up. Maybe she says, "We should hang out sometime," or "I miss you." Number 10. Reinstate boundaries and power dynamics. Once she's back, the power dynamics have to change. You can't go back to the same situation where she had the upper hand. This time it's different. You need to make sure she knows you're not the guy who's going to chase, and that if she wants to stay in your life, she's going to have to respect your boundaries. The only way she's coming back is on your terms, not hers. When she reaches out, you can't just welcome her back with open arms, like nothing happened. You have to reset the relationship dynamics and make it clear that you're in control. Now she needs to know you've changed. You're not the same guy who was at her beck and call, responding to every little thing she did. She'll be expecting the old you, the one who was always available. But what she needs to find is a man who values himself first and foremost. Here's the deal: when she comes back, she needs to earn her place in your life again. Don't give her the same level of access she had before. If she was your main priority, before she's not anymore, she's going to have to prove herself. Show you that she values your time and respects your new boundaries. You have to communicate these boundaries clearly but calmly. Don't be aggressive or defensive. Instead, let her know that things have changed, and if she wants to be part of your life, she needs to respect the new dynamic. Let her feel that her past behavior won't be tolerated anymore. You're not the man she pulled away from. You've evolved, and she needs to rise to your level if she wants to be with you when she tries to reach out. Don't immediately jump into long conversations or make plans to meet up. Instead, keep the initial interactions light and controlled. If she asks to meet, let her know you're busy and that you'll get back to her when you have time. This way, you're establishing that your time is valuable, and she can no longer expect you to be available at the snap of her fingers. The key here is consistency. Boundaries only work if you maintain them. If she tries to test you again by pulling back or playing games, you need to stand firm. She should know that if she crosses the line, you're willing to walk away without hesitation. No more second chances. This is about respect, and if she can't give you that, then she doesn't deserve your time or attention. She needs to see that you've transformed into a high-value man, one who doesn't tolerate disrespect or games. By establishing clear boundaries, you not only command her respect, but you also ensure that the power dynamic stays balanced. If she wants to be in your life, she's going to have to work for it this time, and that's how you keep the upper hand. This isn't just about getting her back. This is about transforming yourself into the kind of man who doesn't need to chase you, are the prize. You are the one in control. By focusing on your growth, setting boundaries, and mastering your emotional strength, you've completely changed the game. She's going to come back because now you're a challenge, a man she can't easily control. But the real power, it's not in making her come back. It's in becoming the kind of man who can walk away if she doesn't rise to your level. This journey isn't just about fixing a broken relationship. It's about fixing yourself. And when you do that, when you put in the work and elevate your life, You won't just have one woman wanting your attention, you'll have options, and that is what makes you unstoppable. You are no longer the guy begging for her approval. You're the guy who commands respect effortlessly. She'll notice, everyone will notice, and when she comes crawling back, it won't even matter if you take her back or not, because you'll have become the kind of man who's in control of his destiny. That is what truly matters. Conclusion. Understanding why she pulled back is the first step to regaining control over the situation. Often, women pull away when they sense neediness, a lack of confidence, or an imbalance in the relationship. Recognizing these underlying reasons helps you shift your focus inward rather than chasing after answers from her. Emotional detachment is essential during this time. It doesn't mean ignoring your feelings, but approaching the situation with a level-headed mindset. When you detach from the outcome, you regain your peace and control, making decisions rooted in logic rather than desperation. Avoiding common mistakes is crucial. Many men make the error of over-texting, begging, or trying to force the relationship back to how it was. These actions only push her further away. Instead, take a step back and focus on what you can control, your own growth and well-being. The power of no contact cannot be overstated. By removing yourself from the equation, you give her the space to reflect on what she's missing. More importantly, it allows you to rebuild your emotional foundation and reclaim your independence. Staying focused during this time is key. Channel your energy into self-improvement, hobbies, and goals. Show that your life is full and fulfilling, even without her. This shift not only benefits you, but also subtly communicates your value. Use heartbreak as fuel for transformation. Pain is a powerful motivator, and by using it to propel you forward, you can emerge stronger and more resilient. Every challenge is an opportunity to grow, and this is no exception. Building emotional strength is part of this process. A stoic man doesn't let external events dictate his peace. Strengthen your inner world by practicing discipline, mindfulness, and gratitude. Making her miss you is a natural outcome of this journey. When you pull back and elevate yourself, you become more attractive, reminding her of the qualities she admired in you. If she reaches out, handle it with calm and confidence. Avoid emotional outbursts or jumping back into the same patterns. Respond thoughtfully, showing her the growth and stability you've cultivated. Finally, if the opportunity arises to reconnect, reinstate boundaries and power dynamics. A healthy relationship thrives on mutual respect, so make it clear what you will and won't tolerate. By doing so, you set the stage for a more balanced and fulfilling connection, or confidently move forward without her.